Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to take a quick look at the card game Havok Hijinks. Now it's important to know that the game is currently being funded through Kickstarter, today being 8/26/2013. Thus, everything that you see here is subject to change. Havok Hijinks is a card game for 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, and the average play time is 15 to 30 minutes. In this game, players will be taking on the role of a dragon that will be trying to amass a horde of a certain size before the other players do. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the game and what it has to offer. Okay, and these are the basic components that come with the game. You've got dragon cards, a Havok deck, and a Hijinks deck. At the beginning of the game, players will be able to pick a dragon. There are 4 to choose from, and each have special powers or affinities. See if I can zoom in there. Okay, now it may be hard to read the text here, but each dragon, you've got the obsidian dragon, you've got the pearl dragon, the amber dragon, and you've got the ruby dragon. Each one has a special affinity and special abilities listed on the card. They're also two-sided. One is a ready side, while the other side is a tired side. Basically, just to sum that up, each player has a special ability, or each dragon has a special ability. And when a player uses that special ability, they'll flip their dragon over to the tired side. When a dragon is tired, they won't be able to perform that action again, nor will they be able to play certain cards throughout the course of the game. Alright, as far as the Havok deck goes, there's 2 different kinds of cards. There's treasure cards and event cards. The treasure cards are pretty self-explanatory. Let's see if I can zoom in on some of these here. You have like platinum talons, that's worth a treasure of 4. You've got bronze talons, that's worth a treasure of 1. Diamond is worth 5. A ruby is worth 3. Now note there's a symbol on the bottom here. Basically that matches the dragon's affinity. Let's see if I can find the right one. Here we go. This symbol happens to match the ruby dragon. And what that means is if the ruby dragon were to play this card, they would treat this card as a treasure of 5 rather than a treasure of 3. So different cards have different affinities on them that'll give certain players a bonus, depending on what affinity they are. And the second type of card in the Havok deck are event cards. See if I can zoom in on one of these. Now I apologize if the text is hard to read, but essentially when a player picks these up, they'll have to perform the action listed on the card. Some are positive, some are negative. In this case, the Icky Spider event, every dragon must discard their Hijinks cards. You then deal out new hands as you would at the beginning of the game. Any dragon may instead break a treasure to keep their hand. So yeah, there's a ton of event cards throughout the Havok deck, and like I said, some are positive, some are negative. But really, players are going to be trying to earn those treasure cards in order to win the game. Now in the other deck, the Hijinks deck, this will form a player's hand. Basically, these are broken up into play cards and crash cards. Play cards are the type of card that can only be played on a player's turn. They're represented by these little, looks like dragon or cat symbols in the upper right hand corner of the card. But they'll also have the word play listed right along the bottom, so you'll clearly see that this card can only be played on a player's turn. The other type of card is a crash card. Think of them as interrupt cards. They can be played at any time. They're represented by these symbols along the top right that look like spirals, and they clearly say crash on the bottom of the card. So I like the fact that the cards are easy to read and tell you exactly what they're meant to do. Okay, now as far as the gameplay goes, every player will pick a dragon at the beginning of the game. They'll get 3 Hijinks cards to form their hand, and on a player's turn, they'll pick up 1 Havok card and resolve it. If it's a treasure, it'll go right into their hoard. If it's an event card, they'll resolve it the way the card tells them to. After that occurs, they'll be able to play one of the Hijinks cards that are in their hand, and if their dragon isn't tired, they have the option of playing that dragon's special ability. And that's pretty much it. Players will continue taking turns around the table until one player manages to grow their hoard or treasure size to 15 or above. At that point, the other players will have one more try to stop that particular winning condition from occurring. If other players aren't able to stop that player from going to 15 or over, then that player wins. Okay, and just to quickly show you what that all looks like, Vinny and I are just going to play a quick practice round. We've picked our dragons. I've got the obsidian, and he's got the ruby dragon. One thing I forgot to mention, we each start with a bronze talons cards, which is worth 1 treasure. And we have a hand of 3 hijinks cards. So, Vinny, go ahead and draw your first Havok card. Okay.
Heat wave.
Heat wave, let's see. Alright, according to this, you get to steal a treasure from an opponent dragon. Now there's an affinity symbol. Well, he didn't waste any time. According to this affinity symbol, if you are the ruby dragon, which he is, you may then draw a second card, second Havok card, and resolve it immediately. So go ahead and draw another orange card.
It is a bronze talon.
Bronze talon. Now that's a treasure, so he would automatically put that into his hoard. Now he has the option of playing a hijinks card, or using a special ability on his dragon. Now if he doesn't have anything to play, he can discard a card and then pick up. Okay, so he's going to discard and pick up. Okay. Alright, and that ends his turn, and now it's mine. Now that I don't have any treasure, I'd better hope that there's some here. Okay, now it looks like I lucked out and picked up a diamond for my treasure. So I'm going to put that into my treasure.
Crash.
What do you mean crash? What? What's that?
The crash. And if an opponent dragon just flipped a treasure card, you may have them place it at the bottom of the Havok deck instead.
Ugh. He's catching on way too quickly. Alright, so what he said, he's using his ability to make me discard this and put it onto the bottom of the Havok deck. So flip your dragon over to Tard if you didn't do it already. Alright, and now I'm treasureless. Okay. Alright. Let's go ahead and take a look at my hijinks card to see if I can do anything. Now I have a purple card which happens to match my affinity. I can steal a treasure worth 3 or less from an opponent dragon. The affinity lets me make it be 4 or less, but he only has 1, so I'm not going to bother with this card. But I do have this Hot Foot card. Unfortunately, I don't have the affinity for it, but I can play its basic effect. Steal a treasure worth 2 or less from an opponent dragon. So I'm going to go ahead and play that card on him. So you need to give me one of your treasures worth 2 or less. He's looking for a way to stop me. I can see it. He's looking hard. Nothing? No? Okay. Alright, and then I pick up a hijinks card. And that ends my turn. And honestly, that's all there is to it. We'll just keep taking turns back and forth until one of us wins the game. If you like what you see here, feel free to check out the game on its Kickstarter page. You can also check out the written preview at www.dadsgamingaddiction.com, where you can click on the link in the below description that'll take you there as well. This is Vince and Vinny Jr. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.